And the City of Johannesburg says it's not unfairly targeting informal traders, despite claims to the contrary by the traders. They say the city has been systematically frustrating their efforts to make a living. Street trade brings in billions of rand to the country's GDP per annum.
Eking out a living, making less than 2,000 rands per month, but for many, it's a better alternative to being jobless.
Informal traders are often overlooked, and it's a sector of the economy that brings in over 160 billion rands to the fiscus.
The sector, however, is unregulated, a nightmare for city officials battling with the crime and grime associated with it. In 2013, the city went on a campaign called Operation Clean Sweep. Metro Police evicted informal traders and confiscated their goods. This was challenged in court, and the Constitutional Court ruled against the operation.
Yes, our people are normally harassed, and most of the people, remember, there are people who were in the waiting list who didn't have a smart card in those before the Clean Sweep campaign. But because they have been there for years, the court order also covered them to go back to the street and be trading. Those people are normally harassed.
Street traders believe open dialogue could go a long way to resolving the situation.
There should be a forum whereby we will engage the city, the organization that are representing traders. That's all. If ever we can sit and have a platform whereby they will listen and implement.
The World Trade Organization estimates that 70% of employment comes from the informal sector. And in South Africa, the sector contributes 5% to the country's GDP, twice the size of the agricultural sector.
The informal sector employs over 1.2 million people in the country, and it's argued without them, the unemployment rate would rise from 25% to 45%.
Analysts believe it's in government and big businesses' best interest to work with the informal sector by making trade for them easier and not limiting the space in which they operate.
The moment you lock them to a place, you are self-defeating. Everybody knows that. But it's also important to understand, if the economy is growing, the number of these informal players decreases. In South Africa, we have a huge problem. We have created the most inequality society.
Activist group SERI says the management of informal trade in the inner city is in disarray and regulatory practices are restrictive.
Hello.
But the City of Johannesburg says the draft plan they're working on will help balance the needs of the traders and the various stakeholders. Nozintombi Mia, SABC News, Johannesburg.